Hi! So today I'm going to be doing 5-star predictions. So I've only chose 5 books to talk about. I'm pretty picky with giving out 5 stars. Last year in 2020, I think I only gave out like around 10 the whole year. So I don't give them out very often, but I chose 5 of the books that I already had on my shelves that I think could possibly be 5 stars. I could be totally off base, but we will see. And then whenever I have read them, I will come back and make another video and talk about whether or not I was right and whether they were 5 stars or not. So the first book that I want to talk about is Frostblood, and this is from Ellie Blake. This was actually my sister's book, and she told me I should read it. So now I have the first and the second one. I don't have the third one yet, but I've got the first and second one. So this is a book about a girl named Ruby who is a fireblood, and she has concealed her powers her whole life. She hasn't let them show until her mother is killed, and then they're trying to overthrow the king. So she decides to come out of hiding and help them get revenge. So she starts training with the rest of them, and then she's captured by the king and forced to compete in his tournament type thing. And so now that she's captured by the king, she only has one chance to overthrow him. And I guess there's kind of like a romance in this as well. I've only heard one other person talk about this book on YouTube, Books with Brittany. She's mentioned it in passing, how this is a YA fantasy that she really likes and thinks is underhyped. So I'm gonna give this one a read. I think that it has the potential to be 5 stars, so we will cross our fingers and hope for the best. Next is An Enchantment of Ravens from Margaret Rogerson. I've heard nothing but good things about this book, really. It kind of went around BookTube a lot last year, and this is a standalone fantasy. It's about this girl named Isabel who paints, and these people called fair folk come to her to get these paintings, and they trade her enchantments for these paintings because they can't touch anything like that. They can't do human craft without everything turning to dust. So she makes these paintings and people trade her things for them. And then one day the prince comes and wants a painting from her, and she makes a huge mistake pretty much by the way she paints the painting that he asks for. And because of that, she gets swept away and held to go to trial for her crime. But while she's being held to go on trial for her crime, everything goes awry and they're attacked. And then Isabel and the prince have to work together to survive. And so then there's a romance between them, I'm assuming. And so I'm really excited about this one. I've been wanting to read it for a while. It's super short and it's a standalone fantasy, so that's nice to not have to jump into another series. So I want to read this one. I think it has the potential to be 5 stars as well. So we will see, and I will let you know after I read it. All right, next is These Broken Stars from Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. This is a sci-fi. And this is about this spacecraft called the Icarus. Something happens and causes it to plummet to Earth, and Lilac and Tarver survive, and they think they're the only ones that have survived and that they're alone on this planet. And so this book is really about them trying to survive and make it across this deserted terrain, and their relationship that forms because of it. And then it says in the synopsis that they start to wonder whether or not it would just be better for them to stay on this planet alone until they find out the secret of the chilling whispers that they're hearing along their journey. Now, does that mean actual whispers? I don't know, but I kind of hope it does. And so this I've heard someone talk about. I can't remember who it was that I heard talk about it, but again, this isn't one that I've heard much about from anyone, but it sounds like, again, that it could be 5 stars. It has romance in it as well. As you can tell, as I've said before, I'm a sucker for romance. I love romance. So this would be, I guess, sci-fi romance. but I'm excited about this one, and this one has been sitting on my shelves for a few months, not too long, and I've just kind of been thinking about it the whole time, so I'm excited to get to this one. Next is the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. This one I've heard a lot about. I've heard a lot of people love this book. It's about this woman named Patricia who doesn't like a whole lot about herself or her life anymore, and the only thing keeping her sane is her book club. It's a true crime centered book club, I believe. And then one day on the way home from her book club, she's attacked, and this guy named James enters her life to help her find who attacked her, I believe, and he ends up being a vampire, I think. And now she's kind of in this position where she doesn't know what to do. And I believe that's the gist of what the story is. It's a horror, but I think it's like a satirical horror. I think there's a lot of humor in it. So I'm excited about this one, but this is the one that I'm kind of the most on the fence about whether or not I think it'll be 5 stars, but I have high hopes. And my last 5-star prediction of this video is Sea of Ruin by Pam Godwin. This I don't know a whole lot about, and I don't know that I've heard anybody else talk about it, but I've seen it online. I've read some good things about it online, not on BookTube though. This is about this woman who is captured by a pirate, and then this priest is trying to get her back, I think. And she doesn't really like either of them. She's afraid of both of them. And I believe there's a love triangle. I don't really know a whole lot about this book, but I've heard it's super, super steamy, and I'm kind of excited about that. So I think this one has a really good chance of being 5 stars, even though I don't know a whole lot about it, because I've seen, the things that I have seen about it have all been really, really good things. I haven't seen any bad things about it, but this isn't one like on Goodreads. It doesn't have that many ratings, so it's not one that's been read a lot, I don't think, but I still have super high hopes for it. So those are the 5 books that I have for this round of 5-star predictions. So I will read these 5, and then I will do another video discussing whether or not they were 5 stars. So that's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for commenting, and I will see you next time. Bye.